Hi, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Blake, and we represent Team 4. So we're going to start off by looking at your business environment, the location of your business, and the competition within that location. Then we're going to look at the three alternatives, as in the one-headed machine, the three-headed machine, and not using the soft serve at all. We're going to look at the qualitative and cost aspects of each, and then conclude giving you a comparison of your options and a recommendation. Alliston is a town of roughly 29,000 people, and you have a cornered lot on the Victoria Street, so you have two exposure points to your customers. Alliston has an annual potato festival in June every year, attracting thousands of customers, and a large employer, Honda of Canada, so you get employees that are coming from other towns, as well as a tourist attraction, the historic steam train. So basically, your customer base is larger than that 29,000 population. Your competition is McDonald's and Dairy Queen. McDonald's uses a low-cost approach, and Dairy Queen uses a high emphasis on customer service. Cool Moose Creamery, on the other hand, has a good mixture of both. It's a mid-range product, and it has a high emphasis on knowing each customer, as well as a large variety of flavors. Dairy Queen and McDonald's only have vanilla soft serve. You've highlighted that your core values are helping the community, making customers smile, and inspiring employees. And one way you've done this is through fundraising. You guys have raised over $7,000 for local organizations. Things like Big Brother, Big Sister, the Humane Society, Lions Club, and the Food Bank.
Alright, so now we're going to go over the costs associated with the one-headed ice cream machine. So you're going to have your one-time expenses such as the cost of the machine, the delivery, and the installation. So the cost of the machine, since it's used, is only a few $1,000s. The delivery is going to cost $150, and the installation is going to be $650. The other one-time cost you're going to encounter is the training of your employees on how to use this machine. So it's going to be 2 hours of training for each of your 4 employees times the labor rate of $10.90, giving you just over the $87 in costs. You're also going to have some additional operating costs associated with getting this new machine, such as an additional hour of labor every day because it requires nightly cleaning. So that's going to increase your operating costs at just over $1,300. Utilities are going to go up by $150, and you're also going to have a depreciation expense of $933. So just to go over some of the direct materials costs, so with the ice cream, the cups and spoons and or cone, and the napkin, it's going to be 33 cents per ice cream. And with projected sales of 2,800 units, you're going to have a total cost of $924 for those materials. We're just going to go over some of the qualitative factors now. So the one-headed machine only serves the vanilla soft serve, so it's not giving you a competitive advantage over Dairy Queen and McDonald's because they also do the vanilla soft serve. You're also exposing yourself to some risk with the used machine, and you could have some mechanical breakdown, thus exposing you to higher maintenance costs than are anticipated. And some other things to consider are the fact that it only has a 3-year useful life, so it'll likely have to be replaced fairly quickly. You're also going to have to maintain an additional $69 in inventory to have your required 10 days on inventory on hand at all times. The payback period of this machine is 6 operating months, so about a year and a half. And the labor costs aren't going to change because it doesn't require additional manpower to operate the machine. Your current employees will be fine. You've also experienced a $150 one-time expense for a small fridge to house the products used in the soft serve ice cream. That's just going to be straight expense because it's not material enough to depreciate it. And your return on investment is being calculated at 100% based off the revenues projected from this project minus the cost divided by the total cost.
So similar to the one-headed machine, there are one-time expenses such as the machine itself, the installation, and the delivery. And that's roughly $10,000 more than the 3-year machine. The cost of training is a little bit more because it's a little more complex. And as well as the regular operating costs are slightly higher. The labor for nightly cleaning is going to take a little longer. The utilities are going to be a little more expensive, and the depreciation base is larger, so your depreciation each year is going to be larger as well. We noticed that there's a $12,000 loan that you were looking at if you were to go with the 3-headed ice cream machine. Each month you would have to make roughly $240 payments to cover that $12,000 interest and principal. So in 5 years, it would be paid off. On the right, we have highlighted each year's interest expense. So you'll notice that it's declining, and that may affect your financial statements. For direct materials, it's similar to the one-headed machine, as in 33 cents per serving, I guess. But the thing is, you're serving 4,000 units now, so your cost is going to be roughly $1,300. You have vanilla and chocolate serving now, which gives you competitive advantage over Dairy Queen and McDonald's. There are less frequent replacements and maintenance on the new machine because it's not been used, and there's a risk associated with the loan on the new business. You'll need cash as well on hand to pay for that 8 months interest expense for when you're not actually providing a profit or operating. Other things to consider are the 7-year useful life of the machine, which is more than double of the other machine, and you must maintain an additional $98 of inventory, and that's the cone, the cup, the spoon, the napkin, and the ice cream itself. And the payback period is 7 years of operation. Now when you look at that, the useful life is the same as the payback period, meaning there's virtually no return on investment.
Alright, so in conclusion, we're just going to kind of compare the hard scooped ice cream to the soft serve ice cream. So you can see that the cost to the customer is the same, $2.50 no matter the choice. It's the cost to the company that changes. So with the hard scooped ice cream, it's costing about 78 cents per unit, and that's based off the 31% cost of sales. Whereas the soft serve ice cream is only 33% as previously calculated, or 33 cents as previously calculated. So your gross margins are a little different. So with the hard scooped ice cream, it's only about $1.72, whereas the soft serve, you're actually getting $2.17. Just because it is slightly more profitable to go with the soft serve, as it seems, we're just going to compare the one head to the three head in revenue aspects. So if you add the soft serve machine, some of your current customers are going to move from hard scooped ice cream to the soft serve. So with the one head machine, we're predicting about 1,000 sales movements, and with the three head, it's about 1,400. So we're going to add the revenue by taking the difference between the two contribution margins, and then you're going to have the additional new sales on top of that. So with the one head, it's going to be about 1,800, whereas with the three head, it's going to be about 2,600. So then you're going to take the full contribution margin of those new sales, and when you add them together, you get just over 4,300 for the one head and just over 6,200 for the three head. So looking at this, you see that the three head looks more profitable and looks like a better option, but with the return on investment being virtually nil, it may not be the best choice. So we're just going to compare some of the qualitative factors side by side now. So your useful life, again, for the one head is only 3 years, whereas the three-headed one is 7 years, so that's more than twice as long. Your cash flow requirements are a little bit more on the three-head because you have to make your interest payments every month, and it's not just covering inventory and wages. Your payback period, again, is a significant difference, whereas with the one-head one, it's only 1.5 years, which is half the useful life, whereas with the three-head one, it's the full 7 years, which is your full useful life. Some other things to consider are the risk of malfunction. So with the one-head one, because it's a used machine, it is slightly higher than the three-head one because it's new. The competitive advantage also is more towards the three-head one because you'd have the more options that your competitors aren't offering, whereas the one-head one doesn't give you that. Your inventory requirements are fairly similar. You're going to have more inventory on hand to cover your 10-day inventory requirements at all time. And your return on investment is where the huge difference is. So with the one-head one, it's the 100%, whereas with the three-head one, it's virtually nothing. So we recommend going with the soft serve option because we do think it would be a profitable option, and choosing the one-head machine just based off our quantitative and qualitative analyses. Some other things to consider is that there shouldn't be any conflict with your schooling as the business is only operating from May till September. And then again, this machine's only going to last for probably 3 years, so at that time you can reassess the environment and profitability and decide whether you continue with soft serve, stay with the one head, or move to the three head if it seems feasible. And as the operating is only 4 months of the year, it may not be feasible to have it as a full-time job, but when you get out of school, you can look to see if there's opportunities to continue growing the company, or if it's just a sub-venture you should have alongside something else. So thank you. We appreciate your time.
And we are Team 4.